Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. Oh, I'm going to keep that on. Do you know what, you guys? It's been quite some time since, as you know, since I've gone live. And it's actually, well, other than last week, but it's actually really funny because some things, they have changed. I've been in the gym this morning and I have come out and I'm like, all right, ready to do the coffee run. And I'm like, where is that filter that reduces redness? Where did that go? Where did that bloody filter go? Because I can't find it. And there you go. Pretty annoying actually, but kind of funny too. And I'm just going to have to suck it up, right? Abso-fucking-lutely, like my t-shirt says. So, hey Chrissy, good morning. Welcome to, everybody, welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is episode 624. Wow. I was having a bit of a chat with my very fabulous friend Jojo, who a lot of you know. And one of the things I said to her, I was like, oh my God, if I only do one coffee run a week, it is going to take me forever to get to episode 1000. So I'm like, I don't feel like I've got enough to say yet to get to 1000, but it'll come, I know. I was like, wow, if I only do one once a week, it's going to take forever. I definitely need to shortcut that process. So I'm going to be on the train to get to 1000 episodes of the Coffee Run Live. And that doesn't even include all of the other shows and, seasons and things that I've done over time, which is kind of fun, I think. So what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today is the process basically that I've been working myself through and why it's really important, I think, to follow processes, particularly that work. So I'm just going to level with you, first of all, and let you know that there has been a whole bunch of self-doubt that has kicked in the last couple of months since I decided to come back. There has been some self-doubt, there's been some imposter syndrome. I've had people offer to help me try to do some certain things. And my first instinct is like, oh, but I know how to do this. That just like, what? And which is not the right, the right reaction to have, obviously, when someone offers to help you. But it's just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know this stuff and I know I talk with you guys about it all the time about getting past the fear. Imposter syndrome is bullshit. You're the best version, you're the best person at being you, and the best way to market yourself is being yourself and everything like that. And like, yeah, Nick, you know all of this. So what the actual heck is going on? And I think it's really interesting if you haven't gone in on your own thinking for a little while to sort of like, all right, what is it that I actually know and what is it that I actually do? So I want to show you something. Hang on. As I've told you, like I come out of the gym this morning and I'm not quite, not as 100% prepared as I might like to be. And I feel like I haven't done my hair very well. Lucky for you listening on audio, you don't have to worry about my horrific hair. So one of the things that I've been working through is my actual visible live process that I've taken a whole bunch of people through over the years to make sure that you're pulling these ideas out of your head so that you can get out there, help more people, do the work that you love to do with the people you love to do it with, and really position yourself as being someone who knows their stuff, positioning you as someone who is different than other people. Now, that doesn't mean that you are better. It doesn't mean that you are worse either. It doesn't even mean that you are the same as anyone else. Good morning, Andrea. How are you? What it means and what this does, what this process does, is it helps you to really go, you know what, everybody else can do all of the things and that's fine, but this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to stand out. So this is a process that I've talked about through my book Visible. It's a process that I've talked about in my book Into the Spotlight, which there's a promotion out at the moment that you can get your very own copy of Into the Spotlight for free just by paying postage, because I found boxes of these. So I've got lots and lots of them. And it really does, like it steps you through the process of standing out and being different. But the thing that I needed to do for me was to go, all right, let's bring it right back to basics, because the world has moved on in the last year that I've been out. And it's really kind of like, all right, I needed to find the evidence for myself of like the evidence of my abilities and remembering that actually, you know, I can do this, which is kind of really funny. So the first thing, step one, that you need to do is to get very, very clear, again, if you haven't done it recently, on your vision. So I'm going to actually type, oh my God, I've got to get my nails done today. Look, let's just have a quick little interlude while I get this up here. Isn't that horrific? Look how falling apart at the seams, you guys. It's ridiculous. I've been nervous about doing my right hand because it's broken. All right, so step one is you need to make sure that you are super clear on what your vision is, because your vision is going to be different this year compared to what it was last year. Oh, look at that. I'm not even signed in as being a professional person. Let me do that. Your vision is different, maybe even a little bit different to what it was last year and the year before and the year before and the year before that. Maybe you have realized or you've decided that actually the thing that's really important for you is legacy rather than like the breaking into the 100K club. You know, maybe it's different for you. So getting really clear on the vision, that you have for yourself and for your business and for the things that you're really, I guess, passionate about doing, having, and creating. The next thing that you really need to do is to work out, you know, what your mission is, because that's different to your vision, right? So step two is your mission. So vision and mission. And one of the ways that I like to do this is to really get myself into a state of going, all right, if we were to fast forward 12 months into the future and everything had turned out exactly as I wanted it to, what is it that I'm actually looking at? What am I seeing? What am I noticing? What am I experiencing? What am I smelling, tasting? What am I hearing? What are other people telling me? And getting really, really clear on that. But, you know, fast forwarding yourself into the future and then going 3 years into the future and then 5 years into the future and then 10 years into the future. Because if you can align yourself with your vision and your mission, it does make it a hell of a lot easier for you to then come back and prioritize the actions that you start to take and the decisions and choices that you start to make when it comes to actually working through your next 12-month plan, for instance. The thing that I think is also really important is obviously knowing, you know, what are your fears and your doubts and all that sort of thing. I had to really sit for a while in what I call the murky pit of shitness. I'm actually going to call that step 3. Step 3, get into the murky, can't spell today, murky pit of shitness. That is, I should trademark that because it's actually actually the thing or the place in your mind that I think has the most insane amount of power, right? Because in here, it's where you can decide, determine, think about what are the things that you don't want. What are you unwilling to do? What is it that what are your absolute non-negotiables? And for me, it's like, you know what? I want to be in the room with people. It's part of the reason I went and put up the hot seat in May, which is now next month, which is super exciting, the end of next month, but still in April. I want to do things in the room with people. I definitely want to do things online because it means that we can have global reach, of course. But doing things in person is so important to me because I love the connection and I love the community and I love bringing other people together and then how they can relate to other people and start to build really powerful and insane connections and friendships, of course, because not everyone gets this stuff that you are doing. Andrea said, I can see the murky pit of shitness t-shirts. Could you imagine? Oh, what does that mean? Oh, well, you got to go chat to Nick. It'd be kind of funny, actually. Or I'm in the murky pit of shitness moment, come and see me tomorrow. But it's a really powerful place to be in because it's like, not only do we fast forward ourselves into the future about, what does it look like if I don't do this? What happens if I make this particular choice or if I make this particular decision? And I think everybody's so quick to jump to tactics or hacks, let's call it, not really strategies because that's a different conversation, but people are quick to start, not always, but they're often quick to start and to get into action without aligning first, and that can create some, haphazard results or inconsistent results. I think part of the thing with this that I really have gone through over and over and over again over the past 14 years, if you can believe that, in business, is, all right, what do I want and what don't I want? So get into that murky pit of shitness. And then I think the last step is doing all of that for your ideal client, right? Or your hot, cold clients. Here's one I prepared earlier, sitting here looking at my book. Your hot, cold clients, because if they are anything like you, which most of our ideal clients are in some way, shape or form, or different versions of you, it's kind of like, if they're sitting there in doubt, worry, embarrassment, shame, fear, tentativeness, and overwhelm or stress or pain of some description, then if you can create your messaging and your marketing and your content that helps them to see that you get it, then that's really important. It's become no more apparent to me than literally, like I said, in the last few months. Overwhelmed where to start, worried, stressed, confused, scared, feeling really vulnerable, worrying that the world has moved too far on. Do I really want to do all of this stuff? And I know that because I've spoken to my friends and colleagues and mates who have been in businesses for 10 years or more, similar to me, and the conversations that we have all had are the same. Like, they've been feeling the same way that I have. So I know if that's a common link between us, I know it's a heck of a lot more common, but we don't tend to go out there and talk about our own fears and worries because that would be scary. But also, you don't want to go out, just the disclaimer on this is that you don't want to go out into your marketing talking about your fears, trepidations, worries, whatever, until you have solved it, right? Until you've found a way, and I think a way through it, which is really why I think when you know a process or a system that you can work through that really helps you move through it, then you start to talk about it and share it. Does that make sense, everyone? Abso-fucking-lutely is what I'm guessing you're going to say, because I think that, we're all human. We all have fears, worries, goals, dreams, desires, stresses, things that create anxiety or worry and stuff like that. But our audience needs to know, why should they listen to you? What does make you different? And it's the way that you talk through your stuff and the way that you educate your audience and your market that really does make the difference. So, Andrea, I'm glad that makes sense. Beautiful. So, to reiterate, step 1 is your vision. Step 2 is working through your mission. Step 3 is get into that murky pit of shitness. Oh, did I share step 4? I didn't write step 4. Step 4 is making sure, oh my gosh, can't type with this silly arm brace on, making sure that you're sharing all of your thoughts. That's not really what I want to say. Make sure that you're sharing you. Just getting this in here, guys, so that it's there. Hang on. Audience. Do you know how hard it is to type with this stupid brace on? Oh my God. It's harder to type without it on, to be fair. But oh my goodness gracious, it's, really, it's been an interesting process, let's say. I've been getting very, very good at speaking slowly and getting the internet to dictate what I'm saying. So there you go. So my visible process is the one that I've been working through, making sure that it still works, and actually using this also to pull out my new intellectual property, or revised and refined intellectual property, out of my head and getting it into a framework, which, as I said, I think last week, I shared with you that there's a new book on the boil, which is so fun. I actually spoke with a girlfriend of mine at length last week, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly kind of where I'm at, which is a what the fuck now point. That is the name of the new book. So what the fuck now? Which basically goes back to vision, mission, murky pit of shitness, and then going, all right, what are we going to do from there, and how are we going to solve this? So really exciting. Yes, so there you go. That is our coffee run for today. I would very much love to see you, if you're interested in coming up to the Gold Coast for a couple of days and actually working through this process live and in person, then I invite you to come up. What's really cool about that is that you don't have to sit there on your own working through this process. We can facilitate it if that's where you're at. Some of the people in the room, Tess and Gerda, are a couple of people that you probably know through my stuff. They are both going to be there, and they're crazy awesome. Andrea said, oh my God, yes, that's exactly what is needed right now. Yeah, right? Absolutely. I think so. At the hot seat, if you are in that position where you're like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do now? How do I stand out? How do I pull things out of my head, put it into a framework? Then absolutely this hot seat is going to be great for you. I think the other thing that's really cool with this is that it's not a big room. Like, there's a maximum of 6 of us in there. So it means that you get individual time, it's all tailored, and you're in a really safe space. So Gerda, for example, has been in hot seats before, and she's just like, oh my God, the treasure trove of goodness that comes out of her brain and gets onto the paper because of the room and the environment that she's in has been priceless. Always means that you get to stay in front of any competition, if we believe in competition, which I know imposter syndrome has us worrying about other people. So hot seats coming up. It's really exciting. You can pay up front, or there's payment plans. Super cool. Keep your eyes on the Into the Spotlight promotions. Andrea, yours is on its way to you. It went in the post on Thursday afternoon, just before Good Friday. There are a bunch of links on my socials that you can grab that. And we're going to work through my Visible Live process, pretty much Into the Spotlight process at the hot seat, if that's what you feel like you need, which is really awesome. Stay tuned next week for the Coffee Run 625. I don't quite know what we'll go through yet, but I'm traveling to New Zealand tomorrow for roller derby. Obviously, I'm not playing, which I'm very, very sad about, but I know what happens on planes. And that is, I end up with all of these crazy, awesome ideas. I come home with the most ridiculous amount of notes and things to action. So next Tuesday at 11 a.m. right here on all of your favorite channels, because this goes everywhere. I will come back to you then. Meanwhile, get yourselves out there, have fun doing it, and remember the world is ready for your brand of awesome. I'll see you soon.